Hello, in this video we are gonna talk about something that many people born in the 90s or later wonder what it has been made for: the freight elevators on railway stations. In Germany, most of these freight elevators are abandoned during the present day. Same story in England with all those abandoned Elders and Campbells. Beno BVE has done a video about that, link in the description. But back to Germany, as we had two purposes for the freight elevators in the past, when Bundesbahn was state-owned. I will now call them Bahn and Post. Okay, now to what it means. Bahn, that means everything related to railway station service such as luggage shipping service, goods transports to some shops on the platforms, or transportation of disabled passengers. The luggage shipping service has been changed and nowadays gets shipped by mail vans, aircraft and the few remaining parcel intercity trains. And then there is Post. It can simply be translated to mail. Back then, mail wagons have usually been attached to normal passenger trains, and trains were more important than mail vans. Since the formerly state-owned Bundespost has been turned private in around 1994, that has totally been changed, and they switched onto using mail vans. The few mail freight trains at the present day are just normal freight trains that start from goods train stations, known as parcel intercity. Therefore, the post freighters weren't of any use anymore and have been abandoned. Unlike the few still working Bahn freight elevators, the post freighters are more or less gone. I didn't come across a single working post elevator so far, and it's pretty much unlikely that one of them works. Except if it is a shared elevator. We come to that point right now. Keep that in mind. There were two tasks for freight elevators: Bahn and Post. It's pretty interesting to see what different designs have been used. The most simple design is a normal railroad crossing that doesn't need an elevator at all. These are usually staff only and blocked by a chain. Both Bahn and Post tasks used this crossing. Another option was to use ramps. These ramps were also staff only. Some stations, such as Würzburg and Hanover, still have those ramps. The next example is the shared freight elevator. All freighters are locked off. The call fixture, and sometimes also other fixtures, have had two locks on them, one for Bahn and one for Post. There were two separate power meters, and it depends on the lock you activate which of the two power meters starts counting. Next example are two separate elevators on each platform. This very expensive solution has been used on many big railway stations, but sometimes also on medium-sized ones such as Wanne-Eickel Hauptbahnhof. There were usually two separate elevators arranged beside each other. One of them was exclusively used for the task Bahn, and the other one exclusively for Post. In Hanover they combined two options. There were ramps available for Bahn tasks, and the only freight elevator on each platform was just used for Post. In Dortmund Central Station, both Bahn and Post elevators still exist, and because some of the platforms do not have got a passenger elevator so far, the Bahn freighters are still working, but of course the Post freighters don't. The next layout only very rarely existed: passenger platforms and service platforms, which weren't for the public. This layout usually required two elevators, one shared Bahn and Post elevator on the service platform and one exclusive Bahn freight elevator on the passenger platform. Sometimes the passenger platform didn't have an elevator at all, such as Krefeld Central Station, but most of the stations actually had. Here we come to some examples. Just as I told, some of the Bahn freight elevators still work. I have already done tours of the railway station freight elevators in Wuppeertal and Dortmund, links in the description. But there is more stuff to show to you. Let's ride the shared freight elevator at Göttingen railway station platform 6 and 7. In Göttingen, only 2 out of 4 shared freight elevators still worked. The post lock isn't used anymore. And now to a railway station freight elevator that doesn't exist anymore. Located in Münster in Westfalen Central Station. First to an awesome chain-driven Stahl freight elevator, then to an old generic hydraulic. In many other old railway stations, the freighters look more or less messed up, such as you can see here, Hamburg-Harburg railway station, a shared freighter. Or this one, very special one with automatic folding shaft doors in Hagen Central Station. I so much want to ride it, but oh dear, they are all abandoned. Really sad. Some of the freighters even look like this. Located in Aalen in Westfalen, these have been walled off. Most of the freight elevators have been closed after 1997, when the classic luggage service and Bahnpost has been given up. The few remaining freight elevators that still work will be closed as soon as there are normal passenger elevators available. Only at very few stations the freight elevators will survive, like in Cologne Central Station, where the service platforms are still used for catering. Okay, now to the question to you. Did you have got a similar system at railway stations in your own country? Yeah, I really wonder if railway station freighters were common in other countries as well, and if they are still in use or not. No matter if you live in France, Sweden, Italy, UK, Spain, United States, Japan, Russia, or wherever you live, don't hesitate to share your knowledge in the comment section below.